What's up, everybody? Welcome to Don't Give Up with Jacob. Today, I have a special guest joining me on my show. Not only that, but she's also a clinical psychologist and doctorate level behavior analyst licensed in Texas, Florida, and Louisiana. And over the years, she has worked in many different settings, providing assessment, consultation, and treatment services to this special population. So please give a warm welcome to Dr. Karen Sheridan.
Hi, Jacob. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Welcome to my show. I'm so glad that you're here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so I have a couple of questions to ask about your life and your personal career. Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So, first of all, I have heard that you are a clinical psychologist and doctorate level behavior analyst.
That's right. I have a PhD in clinical psychology, and I'm licensed as a psychologist, like you said, in 3 states. And I'm a doctorate level behavior analyst, and what that means is I have a license in applied behavior analysis, and it's an empirically supported treatment for autism. So I've been doing that quite a while.
Wow, sounds great. And can you tell my audience something else that you do in your everyday work life? And also tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Okay. My name is Karen Sheridan, and I'm originally from a little town in Louisiana called Bogalusa. Most people don't know where that is, so I tell them it's the big toe of the boot. If you've ever been to Louisiana, it's on the Mississippi line. I grew up on a farm that's been in my family for over 100 years. Um, and I always wanted to work with people while I was growing up as a child. I always liked helping people, so that made me pursue a profession in psychology. Um, and I had some experiences when I was in school working with children with autism, doing early intervention services. I originally went to graduate school thinking I was going to be a researcher about eating disorders, and I got a job working with a 4-year-old with autism, teaching him communication skills. And I worked with him for a year and got him to talk, and he got to go to an inclusive kindergarten. And that kind of changed the trajectory of my career. And it led me to do what I do today. And I recently went into business for myself, and have a private practice called Access Autism Testing and Consultation. And I'm doing autism testing virtually and some parent consultation for families that are, struggling with different issues with their child with autism.
Wow, sounds very interesting. And when I was younger, I also had to go to a special preschool and a special um pre-K class, and I also had to do lots of OT and PT and speech therapy as well.
Did you enjoy your therapy experiences?
Yeah, I'd say so. It helped me find my voice and find out what I really loved about my everyday experiences.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say so too. So, next up, I'm going to ask you what inspired you to start working with autistic and neurodivergent individuals?
Like I said, it was that client. It was my second year of graduate school. I worked for a school district, and I went to this 4-year-old's house twice a week for about 3 hours. And when I first went, he didn't really want anything to do with me, to be quite honest. Basically, just because, with people with autism, they don't necessarily, it take a while to warm up to people, right? So it took him a little while to warm up to me. And then he made a lot of progress. And I remember when I used to go to his house, after a while, he would meet me at the door and he'd say, "Time to work, please. Time to work, please." He was excited to see me. And he did really well. Like I said, he was able to develop communication and lots of other pre-academic skills. And like I said, he was able to go to an inclusive kindergarten and just really progress in a way, and honestly, in a year, which was not that long a period of time. So it was a transformative experience for me because I saw how much early intervention can help a child, and it was a very rewarding experience. And so that made me want to pursue working with that population, as a career.
Wow. Definitely sounds very interesting. And I've also had some physical therapists and speech therapists come to my house once or twice a week as well. It was honestly very fun because they teach me how to say certain things and also things such as alphabet letters, numbers, colors, and animals. It was interesting.
Exactly. It was very much like that. Yes.
All right. So I've also heard that you've worked in numerous schools, clinics, hospitals, and homes as well.
Yeah, I've worked in all different settings. I used to do school consultation for special education departments. I worked in a really large children's hospital called Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I did some testing and some treatment there. Um, I've been a clinic director in two different early intervention clinics. And like I said, I used to do home visits for some of my other jobs and working in the natural setting with children. So lots of different settings. And I've enjoyed all of them. And it makes me understand, um, I think, the population better because I've seen them function in all different settings and with different people. So I think that was a valuable experience.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. So, what are some things you have learned from working in so many different settings and places?
I think the main thing is it's really important that everyone in a person with autism's life is on the same page, right? So that everyone agrees on, what kind of accommodations they need and what kind of um, considerations they might need in different kind of settings. So let's say everybody needs, if noise canceling headphones helps a child with loud, chaotic environments, that everyone in their, all the different settings are offering that to them as a way to help them with their sensory needs. That's just an example, but just whatever accommodations they're needing, everyone's meeting those needs in all the different settings. So you get to see those different parts when you work in all those different places, and you understand how the consistency is really important for the child.
Yeah, definitely sounds a lot like me. I also have some certain needs, and my brain also thinks very differently. Like, there's some things that I like in a certain way, there's some things that I just can't handle or that I'm really sensitive to. And there are also some things that I like which other people may not, or things I don't like which other people may like.
Exactly. So it's important that everyone kind of knows that about you, that works with you or interacts with you or lives with you, right?
That's right, because everyone in this world is different. Even if you have a neurodiversity or not, just remember to accept everyone in this beautiful country and in this universe as well, because everybody has certain needs and wants in their everyday life.
Sure, of course.
All right.